What's up, folks? Welcome back. Like I told y'all, man, Wednesdays. And here we are right on time. As promised, I gave my word. I made sure I put it in my framework, my time frame. So we lit. Anyway, man, this show may not be as, the full length like I've been doing those shorter shows. I know y'all like those little quick hitters, whatever the case may be. In regards to what I want to talk about today, it's honestly a situation that nobody likes to talk about. It's not something people like to bring up, and it's a conversation that definitely needs to be had. I want to talk about the sisterhood of failure. Now, I'm going to also explain to y'all what the brotherhood of failure is. It's not as prevalent, but I'm going to explain to y'all what I mean, right? Now, the brotherhood of failure, let's just get that out the way real quick. It's more of how you see men that don't want to do shit enabling each other. You know what I mean? They a bunch of talkers, a bunch of motherfuckers that ain't gonna do nothing, a bunch of people that ain't gonna do nothing. They just talk and talk. Yo, I'm about to do this, man. Man, we gotta do this. Man, we gotta start doing this. Man, we gotta start doing that. It's always what we gotta start doing or what we about to start doing, and it never happens. You know what I mean? It's a brotherhood of failure. Those dudes stay in that cycle forever. You know what I mean? They get together, smoke, drink. They'll find the time to do everything under the sun except be constructive. You know what I mean? My boy CJ, you always be talking about how he be taking his kids to school 8 o'clock in the morning. He see a bunch of dudes standing at the corner. He like, dog, take 20 minutes to go drop your son off or your daughter off at school, bruh. Y'all can't even do that. And you complain about your baby mom hitting you up for child support. You know what I mean? So it's just things like that. The brotherhood of failure, because those dudes are never alone. When they sitting there at the corner store, whatever the case may be, they never alone. It's a couple of them. It's a group of them. It's a fest. It's a party. 8 o'clock in the morning, when your kid at the bus stop freezing, just take them to school, bro. It ain't gonna kill you. But that ain't what people are trying to do. That's not their priority. It's not their priority. And that's why you end up in that brotherhood of failure. So, the brotherhood of failure is just simply men who, you know how they say, surround yourself by people who you want to be or people that inspire you. These dudes surround themselves by people who enable them. Same thing applies to the sisterhood of failure. Sorry about that. Y'all gonna have about a little bit, I cut it off, but it's over. Sisterhood of failure, right? I want y'all to notice something. If you notice how, like I said with the brotherhood of failure, it's a group of enablers, right? There's also an older person in the hierarchy as well. And then there's a young person in the hierarchy. Young person want to do something big. Older person telling them this is about the most you can do. They're holding them back, right? How does that apply to the sisterhood of failure? Sisterhood of failure is exactly the same except where it applies at, right? So a bunch of women enabling each other is whatever if they in the form of activity and handling responsibilities. Here's where the sisterhood of failure comes into play that affects y'all long term. The problem with the sisterhood of failure is, unlike the brotherhood of failure is usually a group of friends. The sisterhood of failure is usually within your own family. And I mean your mother, your sister, your auntie, your grandma. Like I saw the stat, I think about a week ago, where a dude made a stat that said something about a grandmother, a mother, and a daughter all living in the same house talking shit about me, but y'all ain't nothing but three generations of bum bitches. It was something like that, right? And I was like, holy shit, yo. I'm like, that's a sisterhood of failure. Because what happens is the grandmother, we're going to just start at the grandmother. We can go back further. Let's start at the grandmother. The grandmother had a good man in her life. She was unappreciative of that man. She chased him out, whatever the case may be. It didn't work out. She, a disciplinary problem. She just was not fit to handle that man. That man goes on. He has a happy life, happy wife, whole kit and caboodle. Everything she ever wanted, he's providing for another woman. She had the ability to get that, but she just couldn't handle it. Couldn't handle him, right? So instead of teaching her daughter, which is the mother, not the grandmother now, we from the grandmother to the mother. Instead of teaching her daughter better on what to do and how to handle that, she actually teaches her daughter to also fall into that same trap and also fall into them same circumstances. But then the question would be, well, why would a mother want her daughter to live like her if her life was miserable? Because misery loves company. It's not a cliche line. That's a fact. And it's prevalent within the sisterhood of failure, because if you ever notice, when it's time to go get advice about men, what your mother and your grandmother always tell you, ladies? What does your mother and your grandmother always tell you when it comes to get advice about men? Do they tell you need to stay? They tell you need to work it out? Do they tell you this is the best you can get? What do they tell you? Or do they tell you go ahead, get out of that situation? Don't worry about nothing. Men ain't shit. Men ain't gonna never be shit. All men are the same. All men are dogs. You just gotta find one with a short leash, whatever the old little phrase is. They got every discouraging term under the book for a man that's handling business who just may be not the perfect. You know what I mean? I'm not saying anybody's perfect. And I'm not saying he whooping your ass. I'm not saying a man is beating on you. I'm not saying a man is cheating on you and stuff like that. What I'm saying is, y'all just have disagreements in certain areas. And the first argument y'all have, first disagreement y'all have, you notice that grandmother and that mother is telling that daughter to go ahead and leave that man. So we're talking 3 generations of women who are trying to essentially distill misery on the next generation so they can stay together. Because let's say that grandmother squandered her producer, or grandmother squandered her last train leaving. Word to Jason Black. Last train leaving, word to Jason Black. Yeah, I gotta go check him out on the business. So let's say that grandmother squandered that man, right? The man that was supposed to make her life easy and take her into the sunset. Imagine the grandma squandered that, and then instead of teaching her daughter better, she wants her daughter to do the same thing so she can come be with her. Because if grandma ain't got no man, right? When grandma get old and grandma can't drive no more, when grandma fall on hard times, if her daughter got a man, or if her daughter got a family, right? Not kids, because women have kids, and that's whatever. That don't mean shit. It's when the woman got a family. Her mom understands that she is no longer the number one priority in her life no more. She has to contend with that man. And if it's a leader, she know what type of time he on. And she got to contend with them damn kids. See, the difference is when a woman is single, right? When she's single, the mother is typically the caregiver to those kids, right? So there's the mother and then there's the daughter. Remember, the daughter is the one I'm talking about. The daughter has the kids. The mother is typically the caregiver, which is the grandmother to those children. Same thing applies the other way around. She's typically the caregiver, especially in a single relationship. Anytime the daughter needs to do anything that she can't bring her kids to, first person she's calling is that mother, right? If a man is in that household, right, the man is now the first phone call. Why is that significant? Why is that significant? Because now the mother, remember, the mother no longer has leverage over that daughter because the daughter no longer needs the mother as much as the mother needs the daughter. So instead of that daughter calling her mom, hey, mom, can you babysit your grandkids? Hey, mom, can you babysit your grandkids? It's now the kids are home with their father. My husband got the kids. My husband took the kids to the park. My husband with the kids. Oh, no. My husband took the kids to a party. My husband took the kids to the game. My husband took the kids to practice. It's my husband all over the place. Now, that mother no longer has leverage over that daughter. So guess what? If that mother now needs a ride, needs somebody to help her with some shit, will the daughter help if she can? Yes, but the mother know if there's any circumstance that come up and her husband like, nope, can't happen. It ain't happening. That is a fear that a lot of women have because they don't want to die alone. Even Drake said that shit. His mother said it. My mother is 66, and a favorite line to hit me with is, who the hell wants to be 70 and alone? Don't nobody want to die alone. Especially not a woman. She don't want to die alone. Women don't want to die alone so bad, they'd rather buy cats. They'd die around cats before they die alone. You understand me? So understand that sisterhood of failure and that mentality where it comes from. It's a selfish thing. It's literally selfish. It's about the mother, the grandmother, not wanting to die alone, so she puts the misery and bring her daughter into it. And then she dies. And now the daughter is the grandmother. And she don't want to die alone, so she brings her daughter into it. And the cycle keeps going because they don't know how to be alone. You ain't supposed to be alone. But your child ain't supposed to be your lifelong partner either. You supposed to be snuggled up next to a man that makes that life easier. A man makes life easier for you is where you're supposed to be. But that sisterhood of failure is vicious because y'all know damn well, for instance, in the same breath, all right, so I use that for an example for the sisterhood of failure. There's another sisterhood of failure piece that they don't talk about because it's a whole ecosystem of sisterhood of failure. At the end of the day, it always usually ends in a woman alone, right? Or in some just crazy situation. Let there be a man with some money, but he put them hands on her. Let it be a man that pays some bills, but he cheating and abusive or whatever the case may be. Sisterhood of failure tell you stay. Because then that man paying them bills. That man paying that rent. He paying for that car. Girl, you better leave that man alone. You ain't gonna find nobody else like that. You rather a man pay for your whole rent and do you dirty than a man to ease your burden on that rent and treat you right? That's what grandma and mama telling you. That's the solution. So that sisterhood of failure, what needs to happen to stop the cycle? Y'all need to break away. That stuff that your mother and your grandmother taught you is wrong. That stuff that your mother and your grandmother told you about men is wrong. Go find you a man that's working. Even if he ain't making a whole lot of money, he don't got to make 100,000. That's just fantasy talk. Y'all are living in a fantasy. You make 30, he got to make 100, or he ain't enough. You make 30, he make 40. You make 30, he make 50. Ma'am, you better snuggle up nice and tight. You better hunker down. Nail him to the floor at that point. Because the right woman in the man corner can help that increase easily. Oh, babe, I noticed you got an aptitude for math. Maybe we should look into accounting. You ever think about accounting? You do all the bills and then you do organizing. You good with balancing the books here. I think you should look into that. Start playing that while you massaging his back. You know what I mean? Kiss his neck a little. Man, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do a show on ladies how to motivate your man to get some paper. See, women, you don't understand the power you got to motivate a man to get some paper. The man is supposed to be motivated himself, right? He's supposed to be self-motivated. That's peak men. Like that's top tier men. That's very unique. But there's these men that's right a step below that, and they need that little extra oomph. And the right woman on their side can get them there. And I'm telling you, ladies, that can be the biggest benefit of your life. So I'm gonna do the next show is gonna be about how to motivate your man. I'm gonna give y'all how to do that. What scenarios you put them in, when the best time to do it, start planting those seeds. It's a process, you know what I mean? But it's an investment to your life. I don't want you to think it's something you're gonna lose. It's all for naught. It's an investment to your life. You understand me? So we're gonna talk about that. Sisterhood of failure. Ladies, break away, right? Them bum ass friends that be doing that shit too, because it's friends that do it too. You know what I mean? Usually it's in the household though, so it's seeped into the DNA of the family. And you got to be able to recognize that, yo, ladies, let me tell you how you recognize you're within an ecosystem of sisterhood of failure. If your mama, your auntie, your grandmama, your cousin, your sister, ain't none of y'all married, you're in the ecosystem of sisterhood of failure. There should not be 4 women within your immediate family that ain't got a ring on their finger. If it is, sisterhood of failure. If your grandmama never been married, sisterhood of failure. If your mom never been married, and if your grandma and your mom never been married, I can tell you right now that's the first sign to the sisterhood of failure. Because your mom and your grandma ain't even from the same time. So your grandma, the time she was from, men got married. My grandma got married at 22 years old. Her husband died. And she got remarried after that. She got married twice. And my grandma was born in the 60s. Sorry, 50s, excuse me, in the 50s. If your grandmama and your mama never been married, that is the first sign that you are in the sisterhood of failure. The second sign that you are in the sisterhood of failure is if your mama and her sister, your grandmama and her sister never been married before, you are in a complete system of sisterhood of failure. Those are the signs. There is no way in hell that many women in your family should be unmarried. The numbers don't add up. Remember that. So, if that is your circumstance, you need to go ahead and break away from their advice. Because they're not helping you. You're going to end up exactly like the rest of the women in your family. Whatever poison they spitting into you, you need to detach from it. Go listen to Shahrazad Ali. Go listen to Dr. Francis Cress Welsing. Get them books. Get to reading. Stop reading Oprah. Stop watching Love and Hip Hop. Get the hell off the internet, because that is not the reality. If your mama and your grandmama ain't never been married, step one. If your mama and her sisters or sister, or your grandma and her sisters or sister never been married, or ain't have a ring on their finger in 50 fucking years, you're in a sisterhood of failure. Break away. It will save your life. Women, you cannot work till you die. Men can. Ladies, you cannot work until you die. It is not in your genetic makeup. It's not in your mental makeup. You will go crazy. You cannot work till you die. Do not set yourself up to work till you die. I promise you, it's not a happy life. You can. It's all. Just look around you. Look around you. And 9 times out of 10, if your grandma ain't been married and your mama ain't been married, y'all probably in the hood somewhere, or y'all probably financially ain't all the way together. Because there was no man to ease that burden. That mama and that grandma been carrying that burden for a long time. They got used to that shit. Look at all the people going on vacation. Look at all the women going on vacations. It's them young ones who just mortgaging off their financial future, and the ones that's older usually accompanied by a man. It's a couple girls that do their little, girls trip, blah, 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 but that's going to get tired. Eventually, they going to want to be snuggled up with a man. Ain't no girls going to want to sit here and do girls trip where they going to hang out, drink, and party the whole damn time. They going to get 40. They going to get 50. That ain't sustainable. They going to want to go have a couple drinks and go lay up with a man at a beach or on some type of resort or something like that. And that's what they want to do. Don't let these folks trick you out of your position. Don't do it. Sisterhood of failure to have you twisted out here. So just look at it. Look at the scenario. Like, damn, my grandma ain't married. My mama ain't married. My aunt ain't married. My great aunt ain't married. Oh, damn. I'm 27 and there ain't a man in sight. A prospect in sight. There's always going to be men looking to hit y'all up to have sex. Women, do not mistake sexual access to potential suitors for marriage. It is not the same. A man that want to give you his last name, all his financial resources, build his empire with you, his legacy with you, is not the same as a man that just want to hit it. It's the truth. Let me know what y'all think, man. Drop comments below. Make sure y'all follow me on all social media platforms. HVO Marv. Make sure you stream my latest project. It is coming out on Friday. Today is Wednesday. It is coming out this Friday, April 29th. Make sure y'all go stream it on all social media platforms. It's called Dennis Son. Videos getting shot soon, so you'll be seeing those on the way. But make sure y'all check those out, man. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Make sure y'all tune in next week. Again, we're going to talk about how to motivate your man to make some money next week. It's going to be a good one. You want to lock in for that one. I'm probably going to be a much longer episode. It's actually more than, the normal episodes, but I'm enjoying it. It's cool. Maybe the episodes might lend that out. I don't know. Maybe I'll start getting questions, things of that nature. If you ever want to ask me a question or a topic you want me to hit up, just hit me up, shoot me a message, DM, whatever the case may be. Maybe I'll set up an email or something like that, and we can start doing that as well. All right, man. Appreciate y'all. We out. Peace.